Greetings and welcome once again to all the people taking the time to watch this video and follow this channel. It's me, the AFOL champ, the adult fan of LEGO champion, here with a classic set. This is a big one that I've been meaning to get into. I want the parts out of it. This is Build Together. It is, I believe, 11/0/20. This is a big 1600 piece classic set. It was originally $100. I don't know who out there is buying full price $100 classic sets, but I thought I got a good deal when I got it for like 30% off, like $70, I think from Target. And then recently I've been finding these multiple times on clearance at Walmart's for $49. So hopefully people aren't out there paying $100 for this. But, you know, when you're talking about classic sets, the builds are never really the focus. They're very simplistic and they give you way more parts than you need, specifically so you can build your own stuff. So I'm not going to focus on the builds. I'm going to focus on the parts, which you can see here came in like 15 different bags. I can't remember exactly how many there were. You know, there were 12 different numbered bags, and then there were still several more just kind of divided up on basic color. And when you look at the parts of any classic set, you're always going to have some of the same problems. Like there's way too many purples and yellows. I think this one in particular has too many yellows and like bright greens, bright blues, again, colors that most adult builders really don't spend a lot of time building with. You know, you get a bunch of tiled eyes. You know, you can see them scattered throughout the piles here. This is another problem with this one too. This one has multiple sizes of eyes even. You can see a bigger one here to the left and some smaller ones, the normal size ones there to the right. You get some weird pieces, you know, these weird, I guess like tail pieces, like that would be an example. You get weird clips like, you know, like a ball joint right there. You know, I think medium gray is a good color for that to come in, but does it have the opposite, you know, you get, I don't know if this is a good example, but like there needs to be the reciprocating piece in the same color for that to make sense. And that's not necessarily always the case in a lot of classic sets. This one has a little bit of that, not a ton, but it does have a little bit of that. Again, when you look through this, again, I think there's too much yellow, too much like bright blue, a lot of red, which I'm kind of okay with, but because I'm trying to build up something that is red, but in general, I don't need a ton of red Lego. So yeah, that's a problem, as it always is with classic sets. But at the same time, the parts are also the strength of a classic set. So like when you look through this, there's a pretty fair amount of rare pieces. There's too many really for me to point them all out. There's a handful that only come in, you know, 4 sets. There's several that only come in 3 sets. And then there are several that only come in 2 sets. So they're pretty rare. So like this dark red one, I know only comes in 2 sets. I know this goofy blue tail or medium azure blue piece there only comes in 2 sets. There's a handful in here that only come in a very small, I shouldn't say a handful, again, I counted it up. There are 9 that only come in just 2 sets, this being one of them. So it's nice to get those parts. This set also has a pretty fair amount of just regular bricks and plates, you know, like, you know, 2x4 brick, 2x4 brick, 2x4 brick, 2x2 bricks, 2x6 bricks. You get them in a variety of sizes. You get there's some 1x4s. You can just look throughout here and see plenty of 2x2 plates, plenty of 1x2 plates, 2x2 plates. Again, nice, normal, usable, like not only sizes and elements, but like colors as well. So you can look through that and you can see that. I don't use a ton of slopes. I know a lot of other people use a lot of slopes. There's a fair amount of slopes in here too. Again, nice usable ones, not all just goofy, you know, weird modified designs. And I'm not saying there's none. I mean, here's a modified yellow one there, but you're never going to get away with that completely. Like, this is the type of stuff I'm not a fan of. It's goofy, it's purple. Like, I don't know what I would use this for anyway, let alone in purple, and you've given it to me in 2, so I don't think that'll hardly ever get used. But that's neither here nor there. So Uh, you can also find like plenty of actual like specialized pieces. Like some of them, like like here's a leaf. Those are fairly common in classic sets. Same with like the fish. But some of them are not very common in classic sets. You have like the rock piece here. That's a very usable piece and a usable color and somewhat hard to come across. This brick set claims that this only comes in one set. I don't believe that because I'm pretty sure I got this at least in a hidden side set. Maybe they changed the mold slightly, but that is tough to come across. There's chains in here. There is a fence piece somewhere in here. There is plenty of doors and windows. Those aren't necessarily uncommon, but there's lots of pieces. There's a fence over here. Ooh, that one has a snot brick stuck in it. But there's plenty of stuff in here that is actually usable, more than I kind of anticipated out of this. And again, with a classic set, you're always going to assume that some of these are just completely not usable parts, because it is a classic set. The whole deal with a classic set is you get really good, price to part ratio. Again, I spent like $70 on this and get 1,600 pieces. And includes some bigger pieces. They're not all little tiles and eyes. It includes, then you haven't even brought this up, 5 of these 16 by 16 plates. And as you can see, in fairly usable colors. I mean, lime isn't great. There's a purple one in there. It's like medium lavender, which is that's actually somewhat rare. Medium azure isn't great, but white and tan sure is. Those are good colors to get that in. So, yeah, so as a whole, I mean, this is for a classic set, and again, comparing a classic set to like a modular building is different. I think it's pretty decent, tiles are another thing that come in here. You can see some grill tiles throughout there, but there's just regular tiles in here. They have the newer, maybe this just shows me getting old, but this newer yellow color in here. So as a whole, I'm actually going to give this an A-. Again, it's not the same as grading or reviewing a modular set. It's a classic set. But considering what it is, I'm going to give it an A-. So you can agree or disagree. Again, hopefully this has been a good 7 or 8 minutes of your life. If you agree or disagree, feel free to leave me a comment telling me why you do so. But I hope you leave me a comment, so I hope I hear from you soon. Tell me, what should I build with all of this? What should I do with some of these parts, So I also hope you hit the like button. I hope you hit the subscribe button and hear from me again soon. And as always, thanks for watching.